Shalom, back once more with another lesson, going into the freight train of prophecy, episode 22, to demonstrate that the words of the Heavenly Father, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, are faithful and true, and that all the words written in the testimony of the law and the prophets are being performed in these last days. So before I get started, I want to say call halal, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, Bashem Racha, Kadash, double honors unto the elders, apostles of Great Millstone, Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai Barakatham, also to the elect. So jumping right into it, this earthquake that just happened in the country of Morocco has deleted over 2,100 people and still counting. This reminds me of the earthquake that took place a couple months ago out there in Turkey, which killed over I believe it was 5,500. Because after some point they just stopped looking for bodies because I believe it was 2 weeks after the earthquake happened. So they just assumed that whoever they didn't find, they were unalive. So they just pretty much gave up the search. But anyway, this reminds me a lot of that. And of course, we always go into it, the judgments, the scourges, plagues being sent by Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. We're in the day and time now where the Lord is visiting the earth which he has made. And you don't need us to tell you what time it is. Brothers bring these things out in lessons every single day. So the more that we bring these things out, it should be more ingrained into your mind how the Most High gets down as far as judgment. And we telling you why these things are happening to people. So 2,100 plus, let's get into this article, man. Because right now, the Lord is sending down heavy-handed judgments. It says here, talk about buildings that have been destroyed by this quake. The whole historical district of Marrakech has pretty much been destroyed. Many of the old buildings inside the Medina have been damaged and some have collapsed entirely. On Sunday morning, large piles of rubble were dotted around the area, with stray cats scouring them for food. Some sections of the city were cordoned off with fencing, as the old building could be at risk of collapse. Meanwhile, the worst destruction has been in isolated areas of the nearby Atlas Mountains, where many communities are difficult to access. Residents have described whole villages suffering damage and rescuers unable to retrieve bodies from rubble. So, just like in Turkey, a lot of people weren't even rescued. So right now, I believe when they first came out with the report, it was 500. No, matter of fact, it was 3. Then it jumped to 5. Then it jumped to 1,000. Yesterday, now it's over 2,100. So who knows how many people have been destroyed by this earthquake? And this was a 6.8. Let's see this. If it'll play.
Hello, I'm Dan Fields. We have some great news. Fields Lexus of Glenview has the vehicle you want, in stock, priced right, and ready for delivery. And every Fields customer can take advantage.
You know what? We're not even about to watch that because this ad is 20 seconds. But you know what? Let's go to the scriptures, man. Let's go to Amos chapter 3. And 6. Shall a trumpet be blown in the city, and the people not be afraid? Shall there be evil in the city, and the Lord hath not done it? And the answer is no, because the Lord is in control of all things, life and death. He sends earthquakes. He sends the tempests. He sends the storms. He sends all of that. All these things are from Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. And we're in the time now. I remember bringing this out some months ago, but, in a lesson, that we would come into a time that so many judgments and the frequency and the intensity of these judgments would begin to happen so often that people are going to know that this is judgment. You're not going to have to tell people that it's the Lord doing this. because science is not going to be able to explain these things away. You're not going to be able to come up with a rationale as to why these things are happening. You're just going to be seeing calamity after calamity happen, and people are going to lose their minds, and they are slowly but surely. Deuteronomy 32 and 39. See now that I, even I, am He, and there is no God with me. I kill and I make alive, I wound and I heal. Neither is there any that can deliver out of my hand. So the Lord said that I kill and I make alive. So all issues of death, them 2,100 people that died in Morocco, that was all from the Lord. You see, that was all from Yahweh Basham Yahushai. So this should cause you to do what? Seeing these things, this should teach you the fear of the Lord. Because you understand that if you walk a certain way, if you move a certain way in life, there's a consequence. People seem to have not fully grasped the concept that you can do what you want to do, but there's a consequence. You can go rob a bank, but there's a consequence. You can go outside and kill 2 people right now if that's what you want to do, but there's a consequence. So these people are finding out that their wicked ways are being found out, and ultimately they're being judged for it in these very gruesome ways. All right, let's go to Zephaniah 3. Zephaniah 3 and 5. The Lord is in the midst thereof. He will not do iniquity. Every morning doth he bring his judgment to light. He faileth not, but the unjust knoweth no shame. Every morning the Lord does judgment. Every morning the Lord performs things like this. Every morning, guess what? The Lord deletes people. You see? And it's all for the purpose of judgment. So moving on here. Extreme rainfall in Hong Kong, Brazil, and Greece leave dozens dead after flash flooding. Unprecedented flooding on multiple continents. What is this? Judgments, scourges, plagues. Tells you about that in 2nd Ezra, the 16th chapter. Really all throughout the scriptures. Unprecedented flooding. And you've been seeing that word a lot in the news. Unprecedented. Which means what? These things have never happened before. Around the world has left dozens dead and displaced thousands since the start of September. And this is only September 10th. So we're only the second week into September. And all of this flooding, hurricanes, tornadoes are going on around the planet Earth. It's not a coincidence. The extraordinary scenes of devastation from extreme rainfall have become commonplace this summer, with record-setting downpours hammering places like Vermont, India, China, Spain, South America, and Japan with alarming frequency. And hey, let me go here let me go to 2nd Ezra 16 real quick. Bear with me. 2nd Ezra 16 and 37. Behold, the plagues draw nigh and are not slack, as when a woman with child in the 9th month bringeth forth her son with 2 or 3 hours of her birth, great pains compass her womb, which pains when the child cometh forth, they slack not a moment. Even so shall not the plagues be slack to come upon the earth, and the world shall mourn, and sorrows come upon it on every side. What is this? Sorrows coming upon the earth on every side. Vermont, China, India, Spain, South America, Japan, Hong Kong, all across the earth, these calamities are happening and affecting people. You see this? This is all the judgment of Yahweh Basham Yahushua. These plagues are being sent out and they're not returning void. All right. The earth quaketh and the foundations thereof. The sea ariseth up with waves from the deep, and the waves of it are troubled, and the fishes thereof also before the Lord and before the glory of his power. For strong is his right hand that bendeth the bow. His arrows that he shooteth are sharp and shall not miss when they begin to be shot into the ends of the world. Behold, the plagues are sent and shall not return again until they come upon the earth. Prime examples: hurricanes, earthquakes, flooding, fire, wildfires going on all across the earth. Hong Kong sets record for most rain in a single hour. 1 month after extreme rains associated with Typhoon Doksuri killed more than 80 people in northern China, a historic deluge hit the southern part of the country, including Hong Kong. It dumped a record-setting 6.2 inches of rain in an hour, killing at least 2 people and injuring over 140. The judgment of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. So for you Israelites, you need to fear the Lord. Okay, you need to stop the BS. You need to stop, really just come out of this world, man. Repent. That's really the message, is to repent. Because if you don't, these things are going to come for you. The Most High is going to delete you. Moving on. Hurricane Lee is breaking the mold, experts say. Hurricane Lee is rewriting old rules of meteorology, leaving experts astonished at how rapidly it grew into a Goliath Category 5 hurricane. And Category 5, if you don't know, is the strongest measure that a hurricane can get to. Right? Category 5 is the strongest hurricane, which just as quickly dropped to a still dangerous Category 3 and held that strength Saturday, could still be a harbinger as ocean temperatures climb, spawning fast-growing major hurricanes that could threaten communities farther north and inland. Hurricanes are getting stronger at higher latitudes, said Marshall Shepard, director of the University of Georgia's Atmospheric Science Program and a past president of the American Meteorological Society. If that trend continues, that brings into play places like Washington, D.C., New York, and Boston. So usually hurricanes are just relegated to the south. In the northern states, you'll get rain or storms and stuff like that, but it won't be that severe like it is in the south. Like how Hurricane Idalia touched down in Florida, they got jacked up out there. You see? So the Lord is doing it, man. All right, and all the things that we've been speaking of, because the prophets, we speak of the Lord's judgment, and people call it fear mongering. Oh, you always talking about, people dying and what the Lord is going to do. Yeah, well, you damn right. That's what we supposed to do. We supposed to tell you about death. All right, we supposed to tell you about how the Lord gets down, because it don't matter if you don't like the way that we bring it out. It's still going to happen. People still getting deleted every single day by these natural disasters. You can't stop it. Nahum 1:3. The Lord is slow to anger and great in power and will not at all acquit the wicked. So it don't matter what you want to say. It don't matter if you want to gainsay, you want to say harsh words against the prophets. Guess what? He's not going to acquit the wicked. The Lord is not going to let the wicked ride off into the sunset and get away scot-free. No, the Lord hath his way in the whirlwind and in the storm, and the clouds are the dust of his feet. He rebuketh the sea and maketh it dry, and drieth up all the rivers. Bashan languisheth, and Carmel and the flower of Lebanon languisheth. So the Lord has the power over these storms. He has the power over these plagues. And like we just read in 2 Ezra 16, these plagues are going to increase and intensify as we get closer unto the coming of our Lord Yahushua. So all the things that you're seeing, it should let you know how close we are. Okay, with Yahushua, he's about to return and visit the earth very, very soon, sooner than what you believe. Check this out. Thousands of Europeans are dying in the summer heat without AC. And this is profound because over there in Europe, they're not used to seeing these kind of temperatures. In Europe, a lot of people don't even have AC because it's a cooler climate. It's a much milder climate than what you would see in America or South America. All right. Tourists with umbrellas to protect themselves from the sun at the Colosseum during the ongoing heat wave with temperatures reaching 113 degrees. Damn. On July 18th, 2023, in Rome, Italy. Thousands of Europeans have died this summer after contracting heat-related illness as a brutal heat wave endures across Europe. Preliminary data from Spain, Italy, and Germany show that more than 5,600 people have died so far this season. So just over the summer season alone, over 5,000 people have died. The numbers are still being tracked because summer is not yet over. So apparently there's more deaths to come. And neither is the heat wave that's engulfing the continent. So this is, once again, judgment. Check this out. It says last year, heat waves across Europe killed 61,700 people. And last year was crazy with them wildfires. Europe was on fire last year. They were experiencing record heat, and it's continued into this year. But much less people have died compared to last year. Last year, almost 70,000 Europeans were killed by the heat, according to a study published in the scientific journal Nature that's compared to about an average of 1,370 people in the United States who died every year from 2008 to 2017 due to extreme heat. One reason Europeans are particularly susceptible to heat-related death is that temperatures in Europe are climbing at a faster rate than they are on Earth overall. You see that? So it says in Europe, the heat is climbing at a much faster rate than anywhere else on Earth. Why is that? We know who's over there in Europe. It's the Edomites. And the Lord has a controversy with Edom. The Lord is bringing sore calamities, sore plagues, and judgments unto the Edomites. It's not no coincidence. That's why even the scientists know. They're telling you that temperatures in this particular part of the world are climbing at a faster rate than anywhere else on the earth. So that tells you that, hey, the Lord got a beef with Esau. You see? And it's not only in Europe, it's also over here in America. Look at what's happening out there in Phoenix, Arizona. They've been having triple digit regular temperatures. And who's really out there in Phoenix? It's Edomites. Look at what you got going on in LA. Look at what you got going on in Vermont and Maine and Michigan. Who's the main population out there? It's Esau. Now, yeah, you do got Jake sprinkled in, which is why Esau likes to have us around, because Esau knows that if the Lord's people are around, the Lord not really going to judge them too severely for the sake of Israel. But in areas where it's predominantly Edomites and it ain't too many Jake around, the Lord is afflicting them, man, heavily. You see? Another reason is that for a long time, European households have seldom had air conditioning units installed. Europeans have in large part always viewed air conditioning units as an American indulgence, but the installation of air conditioning is spread across the continent. So yeah, the Lord ain't playing. See, these judgments are coming down at a record rate. All right, and it's only going to get worse. This is just the beginning of sorrows. Keep that in mind. Black Americans, Asian Americans, Mexican Americans, and white Americans, which all these things are pseudo terms. Okay, there ain't no such thing as black, ain't no such thing as Asian, Mexican, or white. All right, all these things are proverbs and bywords, man. Okay, it's really pseudoscience. You can't show me nobody that's white, and you can't show me nobody that's black. All right, all that is madness. Okay, so we understand, you know, it's the Israelites. Okay, it's Moab, you know, and it's Esau, pretty much. But going into this article, if you go to Google and type heinous crimes up with young people, you'll see 268,000 results. It's a stark reminder that the alarming trend of young people committing gruesome acts isn't a new phenomenon, but the sheer proliferation and frequency of these acts most certainly are. Our society is grappling with a disconcerting reality, a reality born out of convergence of various factors, from the messages embedded in our music to the desensitizing violence prevalent in our culture. And why are these things so profound in these last days? Because of the devil, really Esau. He's the one pushing this wicked vibration upon the earth. He's the one that's making people's lives harder to where they have to go and commit violent crime, or they have to be on drugs to cope. So this all goes back to E. It really doesn't matter what problem that you want to speak on. It all goes back to E. All right. And let me go to Isaiah 24, because hey, the people of this earth are languishing. You see, and all of this goes into that languishing. Isaiah 24 and 4. It says, "The earth mourneth and fadeth away; the world languisheth and fadeth away. The haughty people, which haughty, that goes into pride. People of the earth do languish. The earth also is defiled under the inhabitants thereof, because they have transgressed the laws, changed the ordinance, broken the everlasting covenant. Therefore hath the curse devoured the earth, and they that dwell therein are desolate. Therefore the inhabitants of the earth are burned, and few men left." So the fact that you have youth pretty much of all nations that are just bugged out, that's a result of the earth languishing. The Most High is plaguing these people in their minds to be without hope, to pretty much just be on some YOLO shit. You know what I'm saying? You only live once. I'm going to just do what makes me feel good, or I'm going to just act out because I feel as though no one's hearing me. But this is the result of having the wicked in rulership. Proverbs 29:2, when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn. You see, which who is the wicked? Is Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. All right, everything goes back to E. It's a society where individuals no longer temper their darkest impulses and regrettability. It's our youth who often find themselves on the front line, manifesting behaviors at an unacceptable rate. This is a phenomenon that should deeply trouble us. That should deeply trouble us all, and lead us to pause in concern for the direction in which our society is headed. And this is not a society. This is chaos. A society is supposed to have law and order. A society is supposed to have content citizens. See, what Esau has created is hell. And let me go to Habakkuk 2, because it tells you that his desire is as hell. This man has created a living hell upon the planet Earth, so much so to the point where the people have just completely given up. Habakkuk 2:5, yea, also because he transgresseth by wine, and that wine goes into his philosophies, his way of life, his Edomite lifestyle. He is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire as hell, and is as death. So this man is as death. Everywhere this man goes, death follows him. Look at what he did during the age of colonization. This man went all across the four corners of the earth, and what followed him? Death. Okay, whenever the so-called white man shows up somewhere, things start to die. Whenever the so-called white man shows up, people start to suffer. That's why he is as death, and he enlarges his desire as hell. This man has turned the earth into a living hell. The earth is supposed to be a paradise. See, we're supposed to be enjoying the earth, but you can't enjoy the earth with the wicked in power. See, this is why a transfer of rulership is much needed, because when the Israelites are in power, the heathen are going to be way better off. Right now, the heathen are mourning. When we get our rulership back, the earth is going to be in order. People are going to rejoice. Creation as a whole is going to rejoice. You're not going to have no more fish in the water being tainted, defiled by PCBs. All right, you're not going to have polluted air. You're not going to be drinking defiled water. Everything is going to be back in its proper state. But with the wicked, all right, everything is out of order. Everything is out of course, and this is why you see the youth in such a troubled state. All right. And yeah, I mean, the youth now are just completely gone. All kind of murders, you know what I'm saying? They out here backdooring their own friends or so-called friends. These young individuals driven by a cocktail of influences. He transgressed by his wine. And once again, that goes back to E. Often react impulsively or in the gravest of cases, meticulously planned, calculated crimes that result in the loss of innocent lives. And these people don't care about people's lives no more, man. Because their lives have turned to shit. They don't care whether they live or die or whether anybody else lives or dies. It's pretty much all about them. And you know what I'm saying? This is a very narcissistic society in which people have lost empathy. All right. And it tells you that in the last days, the love of many shall wax cold. This is exactly what you're seeing. All right, moving on here. Retail theft is on the rise. All right, and this is being done deliberately by laws that have been put in place to pretty much encourage people to go out and steal, because this further contributes to the breaking down of society. Because when there's no law and order, what you have left is chaos, and from chaos, no one is happy. Okay, no one is happy to live in chaos. People live much better when there are laws, and you know, when there are laws in place that support a functioning society. See, what you have now is not a functioning society. It's pretty much just, you know, pretty much America, the world is on the brink of anarchy. That's really what you have. All right, and the fact that retail theft is being allowed to go on as it is, it shows you that this society, this world is done. Because you would have never saw this 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 years ago. Yeah, people always stole things, but it was never to this level, because the laws that are on the books now prevent you from actually doing anything about it. So that means that they want this to happen.
String of flash mob robberies across Los Angeles have retailers on edge. This video is from Irvine, California, just south of Los Angeles. It shows one of these robberies happening at a jewelry store. Robbers ran off with nearly $1 million worth of merchandise. Tina Patel with CBS News Los Angeles explains how local leaders are cracking down on these crimes.
In the last 2 weeks, a spike in flash mob robberies in at least a dozen high-end stores has prompted the city of LA to take action and launch a new organized retail task force to crack down on gang-led crime. Organized retail thefts, including smash and grabs and grab-and-goes at several shops.
Look at that. So Jake just in a store with a trash bag just full of shoes and just walking out. Listen, man, this is not good. All right, this is not good. And imagine how bad things are going to get when society really breaks down. Because right now, hey, look, you can still go outside and you see police walking around. You know, you can call 911 but listen, this is not just going to be relegated to stores. See, this is going to eventually show up at people's doorsteps. You having a lot of follow home robberies happen right now. Women getting followed home and getting raped. All right, a lot of that is going on. You see, but hey, the time is gonna come. Matter of fact, let me just go to it. Yeah, it says, "Behold, victuals shall be so good cheap upon earth that they shall think themselves to be in good case. And even then shall evils grow upon earth, sword, famine, and great confusion. For many of them that dwell upon the earth shall perish of famine, and the other that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy." So you see, the sword is coming, okay, for these proud people. And ultimately, it's all being brought on by Yahweh Basham Shai as scourges for amendment for these evil and wicked people, man. All right, because for the longest time, these people have scoffed against the Lord. They've scoffed against the prophets. So now it's time for you to reap what you have sown. 2nd Ezra 15 and 15. For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands, for there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. No, you can't steal. Curfew is 9 o'clock. They're going to say, to hell with you. We're going to do what we want to do. And man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. Why? Because there's going to be so much chaos happening. You're not even going to want to go into certain cities. You know what I'm saying? Like, think about what's going to happen in Vegas when society breaks down. Vegas is going to be a complete hellhole. Atlanta, same thing. All these big cities is pretty much going to be a kindle fire. Then again, you're going to have Esau coming in with checkpoints. You're going to be locking stuff down. You probably going to want to go into another city to visit family. You ain't going to be able to do that. You're not going to be able, for because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. So because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation, these things are going on. Because why do people need to steal? It's because they don't have nothing, or because I'm not even going to say that really, because yeah, people don't have, but again, people are stealing because they can. People are stealing because there's no consequence for the act of stealing. So why not? If you can go in a Gucci store and grab 10,000, 10K worth of items, why not do it if there's no repercussion of jail time or getting arrested or none of that? Why not?
Including Nike, Gucci, Yves Saint Laurent, Kasubi, and the brazen robbery at a Nordstrom, where more than $300,000 worth of luxury items were stolen. Just some of the recent incidents.
No Angelino should feel like it is not safe to go shopping in Los Angeles.
There have been about one.
Los Angeles, and out there in California, period, is pretty much just the wild, wild west. The laws that they've put in place are purge-like laws. And I believe they're trying to pass a bill in California or LA County that's going to, pretty much decriminalize rape and sexual assault charges. So what kind of society is being created? What kind of world is being created, man? What kind of future can people have in a world like this? And ultimately, this is why we hasten the coming of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, because we don't have no hope in this world. This world is done. When you look at what's going on and consider just the state of the people here, it's like, it's crazy. You can't even raise children here in Babylon the Great, man. Like, you would have to go overseas. You know what I'm saying? Like, you would be better off raising your kids in an Arab nation than raising them here in Babylon the Great, because over here it's just complete chaos. And it's really only through the grace and mercy of the Lord that we even still exist in this place, man. Like, this is a toxic environment. Everything around you is formulated for death, for suffering, for pain. So the Israelites, we are in the worst case scenario. But the good thing is that we have hope. We're going to get out of this. For the heathen, this is their lot. You know what I'm saying? For the heathen, this is as good as it's going to get for them. I'll just say it like that. All right, but let's move on. Hybrid super pigs, which that's madness. What the hell is a hybrid super pig? Are spreading in Canada and soon heading to the U.S. And this is nothing more than a concoction of Esau Edom. Let's read this down. Wild pigs have been wreaking havoc on American wildlife and agriculture for years. Just when you thought it couldn't get any worse, a Canadian super pig emerged. This particular breed is highly intelligent and invasive. The breed has only increased in recent years and shows no sign of slowing down. The massive and cunning creature is poised to infiltrate North America and wreak havoc in a way never seen before, which that goes into unprecedented. Once again, another word you've been seeing a lot in the news. Join us as we discover why we should be aware of the elusive super pig headed for the U.S. and the kind of trouble it will cause. Genetically engineered to withstand freezing temperatures, this breed is actually a hybrid. They were crossbred and genetically engineered to withstand freezing temperatures in Canada. This was helpful for farmers to revolutionize farming. So once again, you see, this is a creation of the so-called white man, Esau. So they're resistant to freezing temperatures, but now they're out in the wild now. So they can pretty much survive at any temperature. These hybrid hogs have gone rogue and are running wild. Where are they headed? Agriculture, they wreaking havoc on the land. They devour everything in it. So you see, hey, once again, this is what happens when the wicked bear rule. Second Ezra 5. The scriptures tell you that the wild beasts shall change their places. Second Ezra 5 and 8. There shall be confusion also in many places, and the fire shall be oft sent out again. And the wild beasts shall change their places, and menstruous women shall bring forth monsters. So these hybrid swine, okay, these hybrid pigs that were created by Esau, they're going to be turned on these people. And it tells you in Second Ezra 39 and 29 that there be spirits created for vengeance, and that's what these are, okay? Because the Most High put the spirit on Esau to create these super pigs, all right, for the purpose of judgment. And that's why they're leaving out of Canada and they're coming into America. Because why? America is Babylon the Great, the great whore. So ultimately the Lord put the spirit on Esau to create these beasts. All right, and pretty much, when you go into it, they're invincible. You know what I'm saying? Like they're resistant to cold. You know what I'm saying? They can survive in extreme heat. So it's like, what can you really do? You know what I'm saying? I mean, hey, but this is what the so-called white man created. But it's gonna, you see, the Most High put his spirit on Esau to create his own destruction. You see? So that's why we always say it really doesn't matter what Esau does, because it don't matter what Esau do. He's still doing the will of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai at the end of the day. But yeah, man, them super hogs, they about to come tear some stuff up in America very soon. And going on to this, more last days blasphemy, just outright rebellion against the scriptures, against Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. Jesus was what? A bishop's startling claim about Jesus' sexuality will have you reeling. Now, we know that, whom the world calls Jesus, whose real name is Yahushua, was a Hebrew Israelite from the tribe of Judah, okay, a so-called black man. But, even when you get into this technicality of Jesus and Yahushua is the real Hamashiach. Jesus, that's an imposter. You know what I'm saying? Jesus is some stringy head, blue-eyed, effeminate looking white boy that was set up by Esau as the savior. All right, so when you get into an article like this, I mean, it's important to keep in mind that two entities have been created. You know what I'm saying? One that looks like Esau, which is really blasphemous, and then the other one, Yahushua Hamashiach, being, the so-called black man. You know what I'm saying? That's the true Messiah. But Esau, he's going into the scriptures and, he's extracting things and teaching things that he ought not to teach. Really, this shows you even more that the heathens should not have ever even picked up the Bible to begin with. You know what I'm saying? Because the understanding was not given to them. It wasn't given to them. The Most High never gave the heathen his laws, statutes, and commandments, nor the understanding of the scriptures. Okay, only Israelites should be teaching the Bible. But it says here, the internet has been divided by a bishop from England who has made a stunning claim about Jesus' sexuality, using verses from the Bible to back up his points and fight against homophobia. So he's for the sodomite agenda, and you can tell that he himself is a sodomite. So he's trying to push that sodomite agenda through the scriptures. And you see, this is just one of many reasons why the Most High is going to destroy the heathen, okay, mainly Esau. Prepare to be stunned by a bishop in England who took to TikTok to declare that the historical figure Jesus may not have had the sexuality that people believe he had. Now, when you go into the scriptures, you consider Yahweh Shai. He came to do his father's business, which was preach the word, to proclaim the gospel, and ultimately to be that perfect lamb, sacrifice, atonement for the sins of Israel. Okay, that's what the Lord came to do. He came to fulfill what was written of him. Now, in his walk, the Lord wasn't dealing with women, because that's not what he came for. See, the Lord came and he was strictly business. You know what I'm saying? So for this Edomite to even be talking about the Lord's sexuality, I mean, that's really nothing more than him just trying to pervert the understanding. Really, this is what Esau does. You know what I'm saying? Esau likes to control the narrative. You know what I'm saying? And he twists the Bible to fit his lifestyle, his agenda. And really, that's what he done with Christianity, period. Just like the so-called white man told you that you can eat whatever you want. That the Sabbath day is Sunday. That the laws are done away with. Why? Because that's Esau. He's a godless heathen. So he can't do right. So then he taught you Israelites the same very thing. And you know what I'm saying? He's doing the same thing now with this sodomite agenda. All right. He has not restricted the sodomite agenda to the Bible, but he's using the Bible to justify this. Okay. In a short but impactful video, Archbishop Jonathan Blake dropped a bombshell that challenged long-held beliefs, claiming that Jesus was in fact bisexual. So these blasphemies that are being declared, Esau gonna have to answer for all this, man. Okay, the fact that you say that the Lord is a sodomite, hey man, all I gotta say is, Esau, your time is coming. Okay, your time is coming. You have blasphemed against the Lord enough. You have afflicted the apple of the Lord's eye enough. All right, and this is why. Listen, man. This is why the judgment is written for Esau as it is in the scriptures, because all these Edomites are with this, man. Okay, they with it. And if they wasn't, then they should have put this man to death when he uttered such words out of his mouth. Man, in fact, let me find that. Things they ought not teach. Just bear with me one moment. Oh, let me see. Hold on. Okay, Titus 1:11. They must be silenced because they are disrupting whole households by teaching things they ought not to teach, and that for the sake of dishonest gain. So this Edomite, all right, he is teaching things that he ought not teach. All right, so ultimately the Most High is going to silence this man. All right, and then all those that spew the madness that he's spewing. Let's check out the comments on this. It says, hold on. Notice that there's zero proof of anything they are pushing in these articles. Not a single case study. Zero. You can rewrite the Bible all you want, but it's not going to fool God, and you aren't immortal. This person is a wolf in sheep's clothing. Jesus always referred to himself as the Son of Man. Scripture also clearly states that Jesus was the firstborn son of Mary. Don't be deceived by the lies of Satan. Archbishop Jonathan Blake is a false prophet that the Bible speaks of. Jesus is God. Why would God create something that is against his word? People cannot put God in a box and ask him to accept them and give a thumbs up to a sinful life. And my thing is this, right? If you want to be a sodomite, then be a sodomite. But why do you have to justify your lifestyle with the scriptures? And it's because they know that it ain't right, and they need some sort of justification, for them doing what they do. And we already know what the scripture says about sodomites. Okay, they're going to be destroyed. You see, so his, guilty conscience is forced him to, delve into the Bible and, just say things that ain't even in the scriptures, man. All right, so hey, man, this is the devil, okay? And the Lord going to destroy you. Let's get into the Zero Hedge article here. Going into the CV, it says Americans divided as mass mandates make comeback amid CV-19 surge. And I remember when the pandemic first started, there was a division amongst people because there were those that, people were scared to go around. You know what I'm saying? A lot of families were broken apart because of the CV. Oh, you might have it. I got to keep my distance 6 feet. I can't have you around. I don't want you in my house unless you got the Capri Sun. So a lot of that was going on. There was a lot of division that was caused by the CV pandemic. But these things are coming back. Check this out. It says CV-19 hospitalizations have increased by nearly 16% over the past week alone, according to the CDC. It says, let me jump down a little bit. Blah, blah, blah. Governors on mass mandates. Oh, let me go up a little bit because I saw this one part. Several schools and private companies have reinstated mask mandates as CV-19 cases and hospitalizations continue to increase across the country, causing divisions in communities over how to limit the spread of the CV. In Alabama, Kinterbish Junior High School issued a mask mandate in late August for students, staff, and visitors due to CV-19. And just this week, Rosemary Hills Elementary School in Silver Spring, Maryland, issued a mask mandate for 10 days. After 3 people at the school tested positive for the virus. It always starts the same way, as a temporary mandate, 15 days to slow the spread. Kyle Wilkins, a parent in Silver Spring, told the Epoch Times, "I can't go through this again. My child is not wearing a mask to school." So you see, people are divided. They already know what's going on because they saw how the last one went. So they already know that these masks are pretty much BS. That the Capri Sun was BS. That they've been lied to. And that's a scripture as well. Let me get that, because ultimately all this is going to come out. Well, it already has came out. Have inherited as lies. The heathen are going to declare that our fathers have inherited as lies. Jeremiah 16:19. O Lord, my strength and my fortress, and my refuge in the day of affliction. The Gentiles shall come unto thee from the ends of the earth, and shall say, surely our fathers have inherited lies, vanity, and things wherein there is no profit. And this is going to be manifested when the true identity of the Israelites comes out. Okay, when the true identity of the Edomites come out, when all of the atrocities and wickedness that America was founded upon are revealed. Okay, all these flood towns, the burning down of Black Wall Street and Rosewood and all these things are brought, because there's much more dirty history that America has swept under the rug. You know what I'm saying? What they was doing to the Seminole Indians, out there in Florida. All these things are going to come out, and the truth has been hidden from the people, even from the Edomites. So when these things come out and they see that, damn, our history is full of violence, hypocrisy, rape, robbery, and murder. When these things come out, the heathens, they're going to say, surely our fathers have inherited us lies. They've taught us lies, vanity, and things wherein there is no profit. Because all of your white privilege, all of the good things that you were able to enjoy in this life, you're going to see that now it's being taken away from you. That those things had no profit. Okay. So this is all from Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. Call hello, Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. Let's get this last video and we can close out. Because this is another thing that's about to cripple these Americans, these high gas prices, right? Remember last year when the gas prices was super high? I believe it got up to, I think, 6 in New York, but down here in Down here in Baltimore, I think it was like 5.69 a gallon or something like that, or it may have been 4 if I remember correctly. But either way, the gas was super high. Okay, the gas was super high, and yeah, a lot of people were suffering, and you even saw a lot of people lose friends over the gas prices. Believe it or not, you know what I'm saying? Like a lot of people, cause think about it, if gas is $5 a gallon, you're not trying to go here and there and go out, cause it's like you got to put gas in your car just to get to work. You got to choose between gas, a full tank, or am I gonna eat tonight? So with that, a lot more people become selfish. You know what I'm saying? People not trying to travel no more. It's pretty much just like, I don't even got time, bro. I gotta worry about this gas in my tank. All right, so let's check this out.
This morning, gas prices are spiking. They spiked overnight.
Yeah, big time, and they could keep on climbing. We are talking about a possible $1 jump from earlier just this week. Bill Keller is in now to explain the reason for the price increase, and it is kind of a jaw dropper.
Yeah, it is not. This is the last thing anybody really wants to see, especially if you've got to fill up this morning. Drivers used to seeing those gas prices fluctuate from day to day, but just overnight, the gas prices spiking 40 cents at some stations. In fact, we saw gas at a Holiday in Plymouth last night selling for $3.79 a gallon. This morning, that same station now $4.09. Other gas stations are even higher, $4.19 at the Bobby and Steve's in Bloomington. As for what's behind the price increase, well, according to Gas Buddy, a refinery outage may be to blame. The fuel.
And that's BS. They say a refinery outage may be to blame. No, I'm going to tell you what it really is. The truth is, these gas prices are going up once again because these BRICS nations are cutting off the U.S. dollar. Now they're starting to trade in the BRICS currency. And the more nations that come onto the BRICS, the more trade partners they have, and the less nations that America is dealing with in the USD. You see, once the U.S. ceases to become the world reserve currency, gas prices are going to have to be, crude oil is going to have to be bought in the dominant currency, which is going to be from the BRICS. So the fact that gas, the price of crude oil is going up so much because now America is going to have to start trading in the BRICS currency. Okay, because a lot of nations they're getting away from the American-led West. Saudi Arabia is another big one because they pretty much control a lot of the oil that's getting shipped out of the Middle East, as well as Russia. You see, so Saudi Arabia and Russia pretty much control the market. So whoever controls the market gets to dictate the price. And if they say that, no, we're not going to sell you our oil, our resource in USD, you have to buy it in our currency now. Well, that's going to cause a lot of problems. And eventually it's going to trickle down onto the consumer. You see, so America, this place has received a great wound. It can't be healed. No balm or ointment can be put upon this place to make this place great again. It's over for America. It's over. You see what's going on? Imagine how much chaos is going to be in society when, if gas hits $7 a gallon. Listen, man, during last year, people was actually siphoning gas out of people's tanks, man, because they couldn't afford it. And that's only when gas was at like $4 or $5. So how much more when it jumps even more high? You see, so hey, man, the Most High is doing his thing in the earth. He's doing his thing in Babylon the Great, and the end is manifest. So I'll go ahead and end this lesson right here. Hopefully it was edifying and straight to the point. In closing, call halal Yahweh Bashim Awashah Bashim Rakakadash. And until next time, Shalom unto the elect.